Hi you guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing really well, especially in light of everything that's going on in the world. I hope you and your loved ones are all really well. So in today's video, we are talking about the link between smoking and hair loss. We've often been told about the detrimental effects of smoking, but hair loss is something that's rarely touched upon. But is it something that we should be worried about? In short, yes. In this video, we're going to discuss some of the key research that's been done to investigate whether smoking can increase the risk of hair loss. And we're going to delve into some of the reasons behind this surprising link. We'll also be going over some of the key symptoms of hair loss in general, as well as specifically smoking-related hair loss, so you're clued up on exactly what to look out for. So without further ado, let's get started. In recent years, smoking rates have steadily fallen. As reported by the NHS, 19.8% of young adults were smokers in 2011 compared to 14.4% in 2019. The study also found that men are more likely than women to be smokers, which is an interesting point considering men are also more prone to suffering with hair loss. There are a few well-reported side effects of smoking. For example, circulatory effects such as increased likelihood of blood clots, high blood pressure and narrowing of the arteries. Increased risk of many cancers include stomach, kidney, throat and lung cancer. Problems affecting the brain such as stroke and brain aneurysms. Lung issues including COPD, asthma, emphysema and pneumonia, as well as increased frequency of coughs and colds. Side effects of smoking also include fertility issues, including a reduced sperm count. There are also a range of more aesthetic issues that come with smoking. For example, skin problems, like greying of the skin or developing a yellow tinge, which can also affect the teeth and nails. Premature aging is also a common battle for smokers, which can present itself as premature wrinkles, acne or psoriasis, and you guessed it, hair loss. So what can we do about hair loss in general? Well, it can be caused by a whole host of factors. Hair loss in men can cause a variety of issues, but in general there are mainly two symptoms. Firstly, men may notice gradual thinning of hair on the top of the head, more commonly known as a receding hairline. Alternatively, some men may get random bald patches. The most common cause of hair loss, which can cause either of these symptoms in men, is hereditary balding. This type of hair loss tends to occur gradually. The first of these studies, by R.M. Trueweb of the University Hospital of Zurich, found that balding due to cigarette usage was multifactorial, meaning that a variety or combination of different factors can lead to hair loss. Let's break this study down and take a look at the factors identified. First of all, Trueweb proposed that hair loss due to smoking could be due to the effect cigarette smoke has on the microvasculature of the dermal hair papilla. The dermal papilla is essentially the structure that feeds a blood supply to the outer layer of the skin. They are present all over the body, but in the scalp they have an extra responsibility, transporting oxygen and nutrients to the hair follicles to facilitate healthy hair growth. We've already touched upon the effects of smoking on circulation, and that's key here. The carbon dioxide in cigarette smoke reduces blood flow, including blood flow to the scalp and hair follicles, meaning that they cannot receive the nutrients and oxygen needed for healthy hair growth. Hair growth will slow and potentially even cease altogether as a result. The second factor to consider is that smoke genotoxicants that can cause direct damage to our DNA or our genetic information. Another study by Dr. Stephanie London supported these findings, concluding that smoking can cause a DNA change, also known as methylation, which essentially involves turning certain genes on and off and altering the genetic code. This can wreak havoc on the body in a variety of ways, even causing serious diseases like cancer or cardiovascular disease. Or in the case of DNA alterations to the hair follicle, it can cause hair loss. Trueweb's study also found that hair loss can occur as a result of an imbalance in the follicular, protease and antiprotease systems induced by smoking. These protein-splitting enzymes are responsible for controlling tissue remodeling. so are absolutely vital during the hair growth cycle. Worryingly, studies including one by Kukkonen have shown that an imbalance in the protease and anti-protease systems can also lead to diseases such as chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, more commonly known as COPD, and emphysema. Next, it was found that the pro-oxidant effect of smoking leads to the release of pro-inflammatory cytokines, which result in follicular microinflammation and fibrosis. Okay, so this one is a bit of a mouthful, but let's break it down. A pro-oxidant is a chemical that causes oxidative stress, which can in turn damage tissues and cells. A cytokine is a bracket term covering a number of substances secreted by cells in the immune system, which have an effect on other cells in the body. Fibrosis is a type of tissue damage that involves thickening and scarring, and microinflammation is swelling caused by microorganisms. So put simply, smoking causes a type of stress on the body's cells, which leads to damage of the hair follicles, which can, as you would expect, result in a lack of hair growth or hair loss. Finally, smoking can result in inhibition of the enzyme aromatase, creating a relative hypoestrogenic state. Another baffling bit of science to sum up this study with. Hypoestrogenism refers to a lack of estrogen in the body, which, as previously mentioned, is caused by an aromatase deficiency. Aromatase is also known as estrogen synthase, due to its role of producing estrogens. Unfortunately, hair loss is a known side effect of estrogen deficiency. Unfortunately, the results of this study aren't the only ways that smoking can result in hair loss. There are also a number of indirect ways it can occur, so let's discuss a few of these. Firstly, smoking can lead to a weakened immune system, leaving us vulnerable to a variety of diseases. Smoking cigarettes damages the antibodies and cells in our immune system that are responsible for attacking any pathogens entering our body. This leaves us vulnerable to all sorts of illnesses that may present hair loss as a symptom. There is some good news though. This damage to the immune system can be counteracted. Quitting smoking can both reverse the process and prevent further damage. Another possible indirect cause of smoking-related hair loss is stress. There are 3 types of hair loss associated with stress, as reported by Daniel K. Hall-Flavin. The first is telogen effluvium. This occurs when high stress levels push a number of hairs into the resting phase. In time, hairs affected will fall out suddenly and without warning. Number 2, trichotillomania. Trichotillomania is a psychological disorder in which sufferers have the urge to pull out their hair as a way of dealing with negative emotions such as stress. Number 3, alopecia areata. Severe stress is thought to be a contributing factor to alopecia areata, a disease in which the body's own immune system attacks the hair follicles, causing them to fall out. But how does this relate to smoking, you may ask? Well, for many smokers, it's a form of stress relief, suggesting that smokers are in a heightened state of anxiety or stress. Ask any smoker you know, and I'm sure they'll tell you that smoking helps them to calm down. The problem is that smoking is only a very temporary stress reliever and could be causing the bulk of the stress itself. Cigarettes interfere with certain chemicals in the brain, which leads to a feeling of nervousness or irritability when the smoker hasn't had a cigarette after a certain length of time. This is nicotine withdrawal, which feels very similar to anxiety. When they do have a cigarette, these feelings are eased, leading to the smoker associating smoking with reduced feelings of stress. The reality is quite the opposite. The cigarettes are what causes the stressful feelings in the first place. So smoking to deal with them only leads to certain stress in the long run. This heightened state of stress has the potential, therefore, to exacerbate the other physiological hair loss inducing effects that smoking can cause. Another indirect cause of hair loss related to smoking is premature aging. As we've touched on already, smoking can cause symptoms such as wrinkles, gauntness, and dry skin. According to a 2009 study, this aging of the skin is thought to be caused by excess production of an enzyme that breaks down collagen, the protein responsible for providing the skin with strength and elasticity. Usually this enzyme is useful and serves to break down collagen so that new collagen can be formed. However, in smokers, too much collagen is destroyed. Aside from the effects of the skin, collagen has other roles within our body, one of these being improving hair quality. Collagen is responsible for moisturizing the hair, promoting growth and regenerating follicles. So a lack of collagen caused by smoking can inevitably lead to poor hair health and even hair loss. Lastly, smoking can deprive the body of essential vitamins, including vitamins A, C and D. The vital one when it comes to hair loss is vitamin D. This essential vitamin is responsible for the formation of new hair follicles, which help maintain the hair's health and help to prevent it from falling out. Vitamin D deficiency can also cause other symptoms, for example mood changes, muscle weakness and high blood pressure. So what are the main symptoms of smoking-related hair loss? Aside from the obvious of thinning hair and circular bald patches, there are a few symptoms to look out for that could be a precursor to smoking-related hair loss. These include hair that smells of smoke, dry or itchy scalp, dandruff with grey flakes, brittle, straw-like hair, yellowed hair or scalp, thickening of the scalp due to inflammation, and frequent fungal infections. But don't lose hope yet, because there is some good news. The second significant study in this area found that people who had smoked in the past but had since given up didn't appear to be at an increased risk of baldness. The main finding from this study was that there was a statistically significant correlation between moderate to severe androgenetic alopecia, this is one of the types of hair loss, and smoker status. This risk was increased by 13 times when baldness ran in the smoker's family. The NHS Knowledge Service's review of this particular study does note, however, that because the study comprised solely of Taiwanese men, the findings may not be directly applicable to those in other cultural groups, especially as ethnicity is thought to be linked to baldness. So to sum up, let's go over what we've learned about smoking and hair loss. Firstly, there is some research to suggest that there is indeed a link between smoking and premature balding. There are several ways in which smoking can lead to increased hair loss. These include affecting the enzymes vital for healthy hair growth, damaging the circulatory system so oxygen and nutrients can't reach the hair follicles, producing toxins that directly damage DNA and putting stress on the body's cells, and inducing estrogen deficiency. There are also indirect ways in which smoking can lead to hair loss, such as by causing premature aging or a weakened immune system, which leaves you susceptible to illnesses. Smokers are also more prone to being stressed due to the effects of smoking on the brain's chemicals, which can be problematic as stress is a known cause of hair loss. Some general signs of hair loss also include thinning of the hair and bald patches. There are also a variety of symptoms that can indicate or predict hair loss in smokers, specifically including hair that smells of smoke, weak straw-like hair and thickening of the scalp. And finally, your risk of hair loss can be reduced by giving up smoking. So if you'd like more information on quitting smoking, visit your GP or find more information on the NHS website. And if you want to give your hair an extra boost in the meantime, then why not try It Really Works vitamins? This is a brand that I set up 5 years ago. We've been featured in Forbes, Men's Health magazine, and we've been recently voted Shortlist Magazine's the best hair regrowth product for men. So try us out, and the best thing about us is if you don't love your results, then we'll refund you with no questions asked. So visit us at itreallyworksvitamins.com. We are offering free worldwide shipping, and our vitamins are vegan friendly and halal and kosher friendly. I hope you found this video really useful. If so, please do give it a like, because it sends out signals to the YouTube algorithm that this is a useful video for other people to watch as well. And please do forward this video if you think it might nudge someone along so they quit smoking. So I look forward to seeing you guys very soon. Stay safe out there. So I hope you're all doing well while self-isolating. Stay safe, and I hope all your friends and loved ones are doing well. See you very soon. Bye for now.